The latest version of W3D Tools has a totally new GUI. New pan, rotate and zoom buttons make navigating the scene much easier. Control-click anywhere in the scene to set the point of view. Zoom in and rotate to inspect the selected point. You can fully render the scene or work in wireframe mode by clicking the Render Style toggle button. You can save views simply by shift-clicking the view images on the left-hand side of the screen. You can then click a mini view to set the main view. You can also save named views and add notes. You can select, edit and delete views with the view browser. View data is saved and is accessible from inside Director. The View menu also lets you select standard viewpoints. In model mode you can move, rotate and scale models using the transform widgets at the top of the view window, or by selecting the desired axis handle directly. Dragging will adjust the model's transform. By holding Shift and selecting the model names in the list, you can select multiple models. You can adjust the model's properties with the inspector at the bottom of the view window. With the Transform tab in the information window, you can see the model's transform, and if needed, you can revert the transform. You can also type values directly into the transform fields. In model mode you can access the UV mapper. The UV mapper merges UV maps from two W3D files and allows you to add effects such as light mapping and detail maps. Texture mode lets you set the filtering and rendering properties for a texture. You can select a texture by clicking directly on it in the view window or by selecting its name in the list. You can import bitmaps as textures and replace existing ones. Images that you import with W3D Tools can be edited in an external editor. When you finish editing, the texture is updated in the view window. A copy of any bitmaps used as textures are saved for easy importing into Director. With shader mode selected, you can set the basic shader properties. Click a shader directly in the view window, or shift-click names in the list to work with multiple shaders. If you need to revert a shader, just right-click the button in the inspector. Maps mode allows you to edit advanced shader properties. You can edit up to 8 layers of textures in a single shader. You can use maps like reflection on a texture layer and then drag the layer to change their order. You can adjust how layers are rendered together, such as setting how they blend. The transform widgets can be used by dragging directly on the viewer to position, rotate and scale a texture layer. Or you can type in values in the transform tab in the information window. Maps mode will let you add animation to each texture of the texture layers. Pressing play in the view window will let you see, in real time, how your animation will look, as you type in the values. W3D Tools has other modes for setting camera properties. Setting up lighting in a scene. And marker objects, which are useful for positioning game elements, such as spawning locations or power-up positions. More modes will be added in future releases, as well as expanding the existing features and integration with Director.